Hey Tara, welcome to Pop Rock Radio. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm so good. How are you going, Paul?
I'm going really well. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
No, it's great. We found your music on AMRAP. I'm just going to the song now. Holding Back. That's the one.
Yes.
And we had it on our live reactions. Tom and myself, we had it on our live reactions. We absolutely loved it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and a lot of the people enjoyed it too because it got voted. I think it was in third spot when we finished the week. That's good.
Oh, amazing! Very cool.
So you were in Melbourne, but then last year you up and left and went to Malta. What did you do that for? See how nice.
Yes. Yeah, I know. It's a whole story actually. So my family moved from Melbourne back in 2017.
Yep.
They moved over to Malta and I gave it a go. I moved over myself and was studying musical theatre over in Malta because my background is in theatre originally.
Yep.
Didn't love it, to be honest. I was 18 at the time. I wanted to be with my friends, missed Melbourne vibes, missed the whole city vibe. So I moved back to Oz back in 2018, did my music degree and then kind of was floating through for a while. I was songwriting the whole time because I've been songwriting for ever since I can remember.
Yep.
But there was always a part of me that just thought, I need something different and I feel like Europe's going to give me what I need. So yeah, I made the move over last May and it's just been so much fun and I feel like that's been really reflected in my music too, which is what I'm so excited about. So it's been a whole journey for the past 6 years.
Yeah, are you enjoying it over there? Obviously you would be, but
I love it. Yeah, it's so different to Melbourne. Like I miss things like Melbourne coffee culture, the food, the city vibes. I've still got friends and family back there too, but I think now being in Europe, it's just a completely different way of life and it's something that I've totally adapted to in every single way now. And I can't imagine not living here anymore. It's amazing.
Cool. So, all right, let's get into, we'll come back to your trip over to Malta and how that's treating you, but your music, earlier on in the year you had Let You In and then you've released Holding Back. Okay, we'll tackle Let You In first. How'd that one go? Because they've got a few streams on Spotify, I believe. Is that correct?
It did. I think it's sitting on around 15,000 or something at the moment. It was really random. The day before Holding Back came out, Let You In got added into 6 quite big playlists from a producer in the UK.
Yep.
And it randomly just kind of took off overnight, which was perfect timing for Holding Back. That whole thing just worked out perfectly. But basically last year, obviously when you move countries, it's a big step.
Yep.
So not only that, but I was in a relationship with someone back in Australia and was still with him when I decided to move to Malta, which is a very difficult thing, I guess, to decide to do. So after we called it off, it was 6 months after I wrote Let You In. And basically the whole idea of that was I had done 6 months of just trying to work out who I am on my own because I'd been in a relationship for 6 years, so from 18 to 25, which is just a long time. And I really didn't know myself. I didn't really know what I wanted and who I was and how I operated and what I'm even looking for moving forward. And Let You In came about when I decided to jump on a dating app for the first time in my life and just say, right, I'm ready to just see what's out there in the world of Europe and let's just try this and see what happens. So I actually wrote it at a cafe with my mum and my sister. We were having a whole conversation about life and it just came about. Quickly came home, jumped on my piano, wrote the music and that was it.
Oh, wow. How did it go on the dating site? Did it work out or was it a flop?
Do you know what? I feel like that has fueled that has basically fueled my EP that's coming out at the end of the year.
Oh,
so
wicked.
I'm going to say it's been successful in the fact that I have many stories to tell. And I think that's the fun thing with music now. It's taken on a whole different journey. There's a whole different story behind it. So yeah, I'm going to say it's worked out well.
Oh, cool. All right. What about Let You In? How did you come up with that? Because we were Tom and I, we loved it. We totally enjoyed the song. I've been listening to it all day today. I've had both Holding You Back and Let You In on Spotify. If I could share my screen with you, you'd probably see it, but it's because it's still there. How did you come up with it? Talk us through the creation process.
Yeah, for Let You In or Holding Back or both?
we've just spoke really. Let You In was about the dating. Go Holding Back. Yeah.
Holding Back. Holding Back was the first song I wrote after Let You In. So it felt very specific for me to release them in that order that I
Yep.
wrote them in too. And very different vibe. Let You In is more kind of like upbeat, pop, boppy,
Yep.
dance vibe, whereas Holding Back is kind of a little bit more stripped back. It's got more of a soft R&B vibe, more electronic pop, I would say. And that kind of came about from the first person that I started talking to on the dating app. And he's got no idea. I've seen him a few times in Malta, and I just think, you have no idea that my second song is about you. So sorry about that, but thank you also. So I just remember it was one night in November. He was just the whole conversation with him was just so frustrating, and I just thought, you're saying all of this stuff, but you're not actually acting on anything.
Yeah.
You're just holding back. And I remember saying to him at the time, I don't know if he's worked this out or not, but I remember saying to him, I've been so patient waiting for you, and I know you're holding back. And I was looking at my own words, and I thought, this is kind of cool. Like, I should probably make something a little bit more positive out of this rather than, being frustrated. So again, it came out of a conversation. I feel like that's how most of my music comes around. I write a lot and I journal a lot, and I don't realize what I'm even putting down on paper half the time. So
you don't have a note.
I just try and keep.
You don't have you have a notepad there now?
Yeah, I do. I've got my big one right behind me, and this one, it comes with me everywhere. I've got one next to my bed. I'm constantly writing every single day. Like, if you were to go through my phone, between my phone, my laptop, my songbook, and my diary, it's just chock full of words.
So we're gonna have a good conversation now, so you can write a good song about pop rock radio.
100%. You can feel
it. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Oh, a bit of a cough.
That's okay.
I wanted to go get a drink, but the studio pups were blocking my way, and I couldn't disturb them, so I couldn't go get a drink. So my glass is empty, so we're going to have to put up with the croaky boys.
Take priority.
Yeah. So with your songwriting, do you have any certain rituals that you go through before sitting down? Like, some people go out and they like to earth themselves on the grass, or some people like to do some weird yoga things, and other people just get straight into it. Yeah. How do you do it?
Yeah. I think that's a good question. I think it's changed a lot over the past few years. I honestly would say my new process is, a lot of the radio in Malta is in Maltese. I don't understand Maltese. So now I just I use my driving time to have my thinking time. So I drive in complete silence just so I can actually process my thoughts. And honestly, that is where most of the songs that I've written on this EP have come from.
Yep.
And I think, Malta is a small island, but it's very condensed, and there's a lot of traffic and a lot going on all the time. So I really try to just use my car time as my chill time. And that's when I kind of filter through all the processes of what's gone through my mind during that day, what's been happening, what's been going on. But I think for me, a lot of the time too, I'm always at the beach now. That's my way of earthing out. And again, I will bring my journal with me when I go to the beach. And I love just going on my own. And I think that's probably one of the most reflective places you can go to just write and just take everything out of the brain.
Yep.
But I think a lot of the time it's I used to write the music first and then the lyrics would flow from there, but now it's always lyrics first. I hear the melody first, and then I'll record it on my phone, come home whenever, and just jump straight onto the piano and write the music from there.
Yep. What are the music recording facilities like in Malta? Is there a bit of a culture there, or is it?
It actually is. We have a lot of Eurovision over here, obviously, and so there's a lot of production studios. And my producer, actually, I'm very lucky. He is like a 30-second walk from my house, which is amazing. It was actually by accident that I found him. I just written Let You In, and maybe about a week later, I remember thinking, I should probably look for someone to help me do this, because I used to just do it all on my own. And I think I was listening to my music too much. So instead of enjoying it, I'd be pulling it apart. So I found David. He's my producer now, and he just gets it. He's got a great home studio that he's set up, and he's amazing. And he's like, no matter where I end up in the world one day, and no matter where he ends up, because we're always moving between the two of us, hopping around, he's just my go-to, and he just hears what's in my head.
Oh, that's awesome. It's pretty good when you can get a collaborative partner like that, the producer and the artist, and they just get it, and music comes out.
Well, I said to him, I remember when I met up with him in December last year, it was kind of like an interview, because I was like, I really want this to be a long-term partnership,
Yep.
and I want you to really pull me out of my head, because I can fixate on things a lot, and I want to enjoy my music. And finally this year I really am. It's something that I'm really proud of. And I think with his own experience being, you know, a musician and releasing his own music and doing all of that himself, he gets it. So
Yep.
yeah, he's been amazing. He will tell me to shut up and stop talking and just relax multiple times, because I'll say, we need to redo that. This isn't okay. That needs to happen again. He's like, just trust the process, Tara. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. So how's it going on AMRAP?
Yeah.
Because we found holding back on AMRAP. That's where all the
Yes.
Australian radio stations and community radio stations and the small stations grab their stuff. Have you found it's getting much
Yes.
airplay?
It has been. It's actually been getting a little bit more than what I thought, because it's longer. It's about 3 minutes 17 seconds.
Yep.
Whereas Let You In was 2:47, so it was more kind of prime radio time. So when I wrote Let You In, I kind of wrote it with the intention of hearing it on radio, which I have, especially over in Malta. And I know it got quite a bit of airtime in Oz too, which is cool. Holding Back has done better than what I thought. I think it's more something than what I would listen to on a streaming platform.
Yeah.
But I am surprised that it has been picking up, and it's good to see it being embraced over in Oz as well. I love knowing that my music, even though it's from Malta, is still getting appreciated back in Oz.
Yeah. How did it feel when you heard it on the radio?
It's still one of those weird feelings. It's funny because like the day that it came out, I went to a cafe and I heard it playing at the cafe that I was at, and I was like, this is very coincidental. I don't know if they know that it's me.
Yeah.
And then they started playing Let You In, and I went up to the owner and I was like, oh, like, how did you hear these songs? And he was like, oh, they came up on our release radar, like the Discover every week on Spotify. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. It's me. And it's really weird. Sometimes I'll hear it like if I'm going to a supermarket here or driving, and it's still a weird feeling. Like my friends will always record it and be like, oh my God, we've heard you again. Or friends back in Oz will message me all the time and say, we've just heard you, or you're playing, and like this is happening, and it's so exciting. I feel like it's one of those feelings where you just don't get used to. It's kind of like what's happening every single time.
It's amazing. It's really amazing to get the response from someone who's heard the music on radio being played, because I asked that question to heaps of people and they go, oh, I haven't heard it on radio yet. And I'm like, oh, no, that must be...
Really?
It must be like, to me, it's like a sad thing, because they're either not tuning into our radio station or like they're not tuning. It's like, oh, you haven't heard your own song on radio yet. It's like, oh, how sad that is, because it would be such how good a feeling it is knowing that you've created something and you hear it.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. So you must have felt really good. It must, like, you get butterflies, or did you just explain the actual feeling to us?
Every time. And I feel like my parents are like they'll be on it straight away, and they'll just kind of like every cafe that we go to now, they'll kind of be like, oh, you should add this song to your playlist. And then all of a sudden you kind of start hearing it everywhere. So they are my number one support, like my hype team. Yeah. My friends are all the same too. But it's kind of like, it's weird because you're kind of just sitting there listening to yourself. But I think now it's gotten to the stage where I really do love the music that I'm creating, and I love the whole story and the whole vibe behind it. So I feel like the music that I was making when I was back in Oz, it was like I never wanted to hear it. I never wanted to listen to it after it was out, which I think is kind of sad, because you put so much work and effort into the music that you make, and it's so real and something that you want to feel proud of. And I feel like now I'm finally at that place where I really am proud of what I've done and how it sounds and what I've created. Yeah,
that's awesome. But excuse me, because when we released the video of, or the post, the social media post of the live reactions, was it even during the show? I can't remember if it was during the show or afterwards, because I got all the messages coming in after the fact, and you were there posting away, chatting, and I think Luke was on there, Luke Balkan, he was there chatting away.
Yes.
And it's amazing that you get some artists who really appreciate the small things and they just get on a small chat, start chatting, and they're chatting with other musicians and producers. And it's, to us, it's like, because we're not musicians, I can't, like, I've got a guitar behind me, but I can only play 2 or 3 chords, not very well. So for us to see the musicians getting excited about their music really makes us feel really good. So
Yeah, well, I think it's so important, and I think I'm always up for chat. I love chatting, and I'm always just thinking, the music industry is a hard one
yeah,
to navigate, and I think I appreciate it if anyone has anything to say about it, if they want to share something, if they want to stream it, if they want to just send a message, and it makes me so happy to know that people from all over the world are listening
yeah.
to what I have to say, and they're enjoying it and they're relating to it. So yeah, I will always jump on and say thank you, because I think it's such a privilege. I really do. I do feel that.
We were actually we're quite quite what's the word flat. We're so proud that you got on there. We're like, another artist has got on and got on the conversation, because it makes us feel good. Because when you go through do all the work, like obviously with a musician, and we're a bit different, but when you do put all of that effort in, and if you get no response, you're like, oh, what is it? What's the point? But then when you get everyone gets on there and chats, it's like, oh wow, it's amazing, and it's good that the community, the music community is quite small. But I found something on YouTube. It's only had like 35 views, and it was done 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And the title is An Interview with Tara Formosa on Female Artist Discrimination in the Victorian Music Industry. And it goes for about 13 seconds. Goes for about 13 seconds. Has that, I'm not going to go right into it. I'm not going to bring back your 3-year history to the front. But has anything changed? Like, has it changed? Are people treating you now with a bit more respect? And how's it changed from that interview?
I do remember doing that, because I was studying at ColArts at the time, doing my Bachelor of Arts. I remember a whole bunch of us it was something that we were always talking about, and I think we had a lot more just males in the music industry, especially music production, which is something that I think is super important to know, regardless of if you are a producer or a singer or a writer, because I just think having the ability to produce your own stuff is really important too. So that's how the whole conversation kind of came about, and just learning about everyone's different stories and situations in the music industry, because sometimes people don't have the purest intentions, and you want to just create music because you love it, and some people just want to use you because they're trying to get something out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where that whole interview process came from back, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think my experience in the music industry, both in Oz and over here, has always been pretty great, to be honest. I haven't really felt like, I think I've been lucky because I've had great people around me the entire time.
Yeah.
And I think when I was at ColArts, we were always gigging. We had a different band every year that we were, gigging around Melbourne with. And we formed a very close-knit, tight-knit community too. And even now, like last week, I jumped on FaceTime with a friend who's a drummer back in Melbourne, and we just wanted to have a chat, talk about the music industry over in Malta and how it's different to Oz. And I think no matter where you are, it really depends on how you or who you choose to surround yourself with. And I think once you get very clear about what it is that you want from the industry and what it is that you want from your own music, you can then decipher how you navigate through. And I think now I'm doing a much better job at that.
So you got the EP coming out at the end of the year?
I do. I have been writing like a crazy person, and I've actually changed the whole theme. So I messaged my producer at like midnight last night, and I was like, I'm just letting you know the whole vibe has changed. We're going in a different direction and calling it a totally different name, and I'm set on it now. I sent him 3 recordings today. I've got one more to send him probably later on today. And I think we're going to start getting that happening from next week, which is very exciting.
Oh, awesome. I can't wait for it to come out. Now, I've got my little pink cards. These are 10 random questions that we get to ask. It's for our segment called Get to Know. So this is Get to Know Tara.
Yep.
And before we get too far into it, I forgot to mention that the QR code on the screen there will take you to your Linktree account. And from the Linktree account, you can then get access to holding back your social media, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, and I believe that's Apple Music. So everyone can scan that QR code, and we'll have links in the description as well. But this is for our segment, Get to Know Tara. So 10 random questions that no normal adult would ever think about asking another adult. So that's what I like to think anyway. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. First question. What is your favourite food?
Yeah. My favourite food, I think, has to be sushi.
Yep, sushi.
I love Japanese food.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, now this one's assuming you've had a hangover. What is your best hangover cure?
Do you know, this is like a superpower of mine. I don't know. I've actually never been hungover before. And it's not saying that I don't drink, because I definitely do. But I think it's like I just get up and go. But I think if I was to say something, now I just go straight to the beach.
Yeah.
Beach, get straight into the water, calm yourself down, ground yourself.
Okay,
I wish
now
I had a better answer for that.
The older you get, the worse they are.
Yet to experience. I'll let you know one day when it happens.
Cool. Hey, what is your go-to snack?
Oh, my go-to snack. Well, at the moment, because it is so hot, I cut up watermelon, freeze it, and use it as like a bit of an icy pole. That is my go-to right now, just because like every day is sitting at like 38, 39 degrees. So all you really feel like having is just something cold and crunchy. So that is my go-to right now. Oh,
yum. Oh, it's hot over there. It's cold over here. I love the heat. I can't handle this cold. It's killing me. Okay.
No, I know. I hate it too.
Yeah. And you're in Melbourne.
I know. That's why that was also part of the reason why I had to move, because I thought I cannot stand the cold. I really struggled.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Name a song that always makes you dance.
Ooh. I have a playlist with my best friend over here, and it's called Dance Away Your Troubles, and it's full of like early old school, like 2000s, 90s R&B.
Yep.
I think lately what we've been listening to is a lot of Nelly Furtado.
Yeah.
She was actually in Malta last week, and it was like we did not stop dancing the whole time.
Yeah.
Honestly, anything Nelly Furtado, she'll get me up and going.
Did she have a concert on, or was she just out on a holiday?
There was a festival called Isle of MTV. So we had Ray come down from the UK. She was awesome. We had Nelly Furtado. We had DJ Snake. It was a whole thing. It was so much fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, now, who is your favourite actor or actress?
My favourite actor or actress? I love Anne Hathaway.
Yep.
I think she's my, go-to. Love her.
Yep. Princess Diaries?
Yeah, just old school Princess Diaries. Yeah. She did. She's just been going solid for, her whole career. She's just amazing.
Yep. Okay, fill in the gap. My something got me into trouble.
My something got me into trouble.
Yep.
Recently, my slow driving got me into trouble.
All right.
Because everyone in Malta is such they have road rage.
Yeah.
And I just drive the normal speed limit, and people hate it, and it gets me in trouble all the time, weirdly enough.
Wow. How big is Malta? Because I didn't think it would be that big that you could have that many.
I think Malta, I'm pretty sure, is this might be very wrong. I'm pretty sure it's smaller than Phillip Island. We've only got 520,000 people here.
Yeah, that's right.
And you can do the whole island drive from one end to the other. I'm pretty sure you can do it in 45 minutes if there's no traffic.
And they're worrying about. Well, that's why they crank it. Yeah, they want to do it in half an hour. So.
Yeah, they just want to speed through.
What is your favourite colour?
Green.
Green?
Sage green. Love green. Yep.
Isn't green the colour of geniuses?
Do you know what? I'm just going to say yes. Yes, it is. Yeah. Let's just go with that.
Because my son, when he was younger, his favourite colour was green, and everyone was like, green. And then someone said, yeah, it's the colour of geniuses. Most geniuses like the colour green. I'm like, well, He's
Great. Let's stick with that.
He's since changed his favourite colour.
Oh,
Anyway, have you ever broken up with someone via text?
yes. Because I was in Malta and he was in Australia.
And
That's how that happened.
And the time zone difference.
There was a FaceTime.
Yeah.
Time zone, there was a FaceTime. There were many texts. But yes.
Many tears?
Yeah, many songs also that came from that. It was a whole situation. I think that'll have to be an EP on itself, to be honest.
Yeah, Tears from Malta, you could call it.
That's a good one.
From memory, who is your first @ on social media?
Oh, my first @.
Yeah, if you're going to...
Do you know what? Okay, so this is actually... I think the first, I'm going to give like a fun one because this is still something that's in my mind. I remember I did a cover of Regular Touch by Vera Blue back in 2018 when I was at Collards. And Vera Blue was the first person that added me.
Oh, wow.
And she just she added me and my band at the time on her story. And she commented on my post that's still on my Instagram now. And I just remember thinking like, oh my God, this is the first person like that's huge in Oz music that's like, shouted me out. So that was really cool.
Oh, that's awesome. And the last question, what is your favourite song to sing in the shower?
Oh, that's a good one. That is a real... I'm going to have to say something like... Actually, you know who I'm listening to a lot right now? A lot of Lana Del Rey and a lot of Charlotte Cardiff.
Yeah.
They're amazing. I mean, a lot of Charlotte's songs are in French, so I'm just kind of like humming around the words, but she's got great melodic lines and just a beautiful voice. So I'm going to have to go like anything from her. I think it's called Make Me Feel Good, and that's a great song.
Yeah. Did you know in France that their radio stations over there have to play a portion, like a large portion of music has to be French music?
Yes, because I remember when I went there last year, flicking through the stations to kind of listen if I could hear like anything in English or any other language, and I just could not.
Yeah.
Luckily, the French language, I think when it's sung is so, I mean, in general, but like with music is so beautiful. But it's just like I want to sing to it and I can't.
Yeah.
I got to learn French.
Yeah, Belinda Carlisle did a French album, and I don't think it fared too well, but it obviously did in France, but not for anywhere else. But are those laws the same as in Malta? Do they have to play a lot of Maltese music?
Do you know, we have like this one kind of Maltese artist who comes to mind who sings kind of a hybrid in English and Maltese, and they play him a lot. But everyone else, like they're really favoring Dua Lipa, Sabrina Carpenter right now. Like it's funny, Maltese stations, they're quite small because there's only like 3 stations on the island, and they just play the same 5 songs on repeat.
Yeah.
But they talk in Maltese a lot. Like if they're introducing a song, it'll be in Maltese. I just haven't picked up anything yet. It's such a hard language to learn. Yeah,
I think that's what Australian radio stations should do. They should have to play a lot more music, Australian music. Now, because on our website, I'm just going to quickly load it up.
Yeah.
I did a couple of weeks ago. I did a comparison of some Australian music. Now, it's probably going to take forever to load up. There it comes. Just load up. I did a comparison. Sabrina Carpenter. Everyone was making this big fuss about Sabrina Carpenter, and I know pop music. But because I spend a lot of my time on pop rock radio, I don't get to listen to other radio stations. And I know Sabrina Carpenter got famous because of Taylor Swift. Now, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift has upset us a few times on pop rock radio. Won't go into it.
Touchy subject.
So, I'll explain in a second. But anyway, I got Espresso up, and there's another song. Emily Bedison had a song called Caffeinate. So I compared the two. Put them side by side, and I've allowed people to listen to it and vote on it. And the Australian Caffeinate, Emily Bedison, is polling better than Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter. And
really? I'm going to have to listen to this. I don't think I've heard it.
Yeah, it's at the bottom of the screen. Like it's below when you go to our homepage. Once you go below the voting and you scroll all the way down, there's a segment called This First That, and it's Caffeinate. I got Caffeinate versus Espresso, and you can actually listen to the 2 songs and you can compare them. And I'm just surprised
Oh,
that just recently we're finding so much really good Australian music and
yeah.
doesn't get picked
I
up.
know.
And it's amazing.
No,
Like,
and do you know what? It's funny because like the whole time I was in Oz, I feel like I never had any of my music heard like at
yeah,
all. And I was putting out a lot on Spotify, which I've now taken down because I'm going to redo
yeah,
all over here. But nothing ever got heard, and I feel like it's funny that we have so many. We have what, like 24 million people in Australia, and I remember in Melbourne, especially because that's where I was from. Every corner you went to, there was someone busking or gigging or putting on a show of a lifetime, and it's like, how are we not hearing more of this?
yeah. Now, just
Why are we not hearing more of this?
to put it into perspective, when we had Holding Back on Pop Rock
Hmm.
Radio on the live reactions, it was, I believe it was on the 21st of July is when we aired did the stream. Um, before we go into the show, before I do it, because it's on a Sunday
Yeah.
morning, I get on and I'll scroll through AMRAP and I'll start at the latest
Hmm.
piece of music that's been released and I'll listen to it. I'll listen to the first 10 seconds. And if it's good, I'll skip forward and listen to another 10 seconds. If that's good, it gets on the short list. And
Yeah.
I can scroll through hundreds and hundreds of songs before I get
Mm.
to get the 10 that I want. And that's not
Yeah.
getting a short list of 50 and then cutting that down. That's actually finding 10 songs that one got to meet our genre of music. So it's got to be pop rock, R&B,
Yes.
not offensive to the ears. It can be like heavy rock, but it's got to
Yeah.
be in context. You know, it's got to be a good song. It's got to make a good song. And so out of that,
Hmm.
then from that 10, we put the live reactions up. And those 10 songs generally we add to Pop Rock Indie, which is a new station we've built specifically for music coming out of AMRAP and things like that. And
Yeah.
finding the music, there's hundreds of new songs coming out each week. And we can't even play, like, radio stations can't even pick up 10 of them. It's crazy. It's
No,
really,
I know. And this is the thing, like even when I was studying over in Oz and I was doing my degree, like we had people from all over the country come and study at Collarts,
yeah,
and we were just meeting such incredible people. And even like my friends now that were doing the degree, some of them have kept going, some of them have stopped, but I love like lingering around Triple J Unearthed to kind of see what's happening
yeah,
over there still, because I'm like, no matter where I am in the world, I'm still Australian, and I want to always keep up to date with what's going on in Oz because there
yeah,
is so much talent there, and I feel like we all have such a very unique, different sound, and it's just like we need the rest of the country to hear that, let
yeah.
alone the rest of the world.
Oh, yeah. So hopefully more people
Yeah,
will tune in and listen to Holding Back and Let You In and the EP when it comes out.
yeah,
I won't embarrass
yes.
you or mention the other songs that I found. Not that they're nothing to
Which
be
ones?
embarrassed. They're not nothing to be embarrassed about. I'm not saying that, but
Yeah.
um, where did I put them? Oh, they're on AMRAP. There you go. Yeah, they're like 3 or 4 years old. 20.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, yes. They would have been from, back in my uni days.
yeah. I was going to get them out and
Yeah.
bring them out and play them and see if you remembered them because obviously like 3 years ago. Then you got Let You In and Holding Back, which are they're all good songs. But Let You In, I love it. I'm loving Let You In. Sorry,
Thank you.
I love Let You In, but I'm really getting into Holding Back. I get them
Yeah.
confused because on AMRAP they're in order of release. When you go to
Oh,
Spotify, when you're on Spotify, they're in order of streams.
exactly.
So
It can
Holding
get
Back's the
confusing.
latest one, which is I'm loving. I'm actually getting into. That's the one that was on Pop Rock Radio, and Let You In
Yes.
is now hitting 15,000 streams on Spotify. So people should get in there and stream a bit more. So we
Yeah.
can't
Stick
wait for
around
the.
because there's so much coming out this year. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, no, it is. It's good. It's great. Now, before you go, I've got to tell you about the Taylor Swift. Now, Taylor Swift, we get a lot of artists and they say, "Oh, I'm not up to Taylor Swift's standard," and I'm like, yes, you are. You are. Once you've written a song, you've produced the song, and you sung it in front of a crowd, you are up to her standard. She's just doing exactly the same thing you are. So, and I don't think there's that
Yeah.
much. Like she's got She's got the pop music down pat. She knows her formula and it works. But the amount of people that follow her, and the power that she's got over people, it's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's crazy for one person to do that. Now we were in one of our other podcasts that I do, and we were in the podcast awards, and they announced the finalists yesterday, and we're looking forward to it. Now our podcast is pretty new, it's pretty raw, it's pretty 3 of the 4 guys that are doing it have never done it before, and we're all in different locations around Australia, so chances of us getting into the finals were really, really slim. But what got in there was an Australian, because these are Australian awards, Australian podcasts. It was an Australian podcast, and I forget the name of it, but it was a podcast inspired by Taylor Swift Eras tour, and all they do is all these girls, all they do is talk about Taylor Swift's music, and they got in. They got in. They're in the finals. Not once. They've got 2. They've been nominated for 2 awards, in finals for 2 awards. And I'm like,
that's insane.
What about Australia? We do podcasts on Australian music like this one here, and we struggle to get anything. But all these other, you can do a podcast on Taylor Swift. It's got no bearing on Australian music except for she hogs all the bandwidth, and they get awards. And I'm like, no. She's
taking everything.
Yeah.
The control she has over people is insane. I've got friends over here that have traveled all around Europe to go see her perform like every country that they possibly can. And she's made earthquakes. Like I've heard of like concerts happening where people have actually had like 1.7 magnitude quakes from just jumping around and having the time of their lives. It's insane.
Oh yeah. It's good if you can do it, like she's got that formula. She's worked it out. She's having fun doing it. I won't take that away from anyone, but we've had people we've tried getting people in to work with us and help expand the station and things, and they've knocked us back because of our stance on Taylor Swift. I can't believe you don't like Taylor Swift. I can't work for someone who doesn't like Taylor Swift. Wow,
you've got a controversial opinion happening over there. That's wild.
It is. But anyway, we've got holding back and let you in on the airwaves at the moment, so that's a good thing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No, Leslie, thank you for taking time. It's morning or afternoon there?
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock in the morning here. It's great.
Oh, we can zip down to the beach and...
Yeah. I said to work, I was like, hey, hope you don't mind. I'm just going to take 45 minutes out. And they're like, yeah, no worries. Have fun. They're very chill. The industry that I work in over here as well is in music. So everyone, they get it and they just let me just do my thing.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. But are the people more laid back there than here?
Yeah, I feel like no one, like I used to be someone that would be on time or like 10 minutes early all the time. And that is just not something you do here. Like you rock up 20 minutes later minimum and no one will care. It's something that did take me quite a while to get used to, especially with work, because I was always like, I need to log on by this time or blah, blah, blah. But they just kind of let you do your thing. It's very European. I love it.
Oh, I'd go crazy. Hey, because I'm like, no, I've got to be there at this time. Everything's got to be Mickey Mouse on time. I couldn't I know. I'd go insane. Anyway.
I'm still like that. Like I will still rock up on time and then just sit in my car for 15 minutes and just wait.
Yeah. Well, good luck. I hope it goes well. Can't wait for the EP to come out, and we'll hopefully be able to have a chat again and get you back on when the EP comes out. That'll be great. So thank you.
Great. Thanks so much.
No, thank you for joining us.
Of your night.
Yeah, we will. Cheers.
I like the things you say about me, and when you call my name, I like it how you flirt at midnight and keep me wide